the Spirit Sessions podcast. I'm your guide, Katie Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us, where I'll help you find your true spiritual home, where every single aspect of you is holy ground, holy ground, holy ground, holy ground.
This is a Spirit Session podcast with Katie Silcox. Venga chicos, empezamos.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hi everyone, Katie here. This podcast is intended to inspire you, educate you, and most importantly, support you on your journey towards knowing who you really are, that inner self, that inner teacher. I am not a psychologist or a medical doctor and do not offer professional health or medical advice on this podcast. If you are suffering from any kind of psychological or medical issue, please do the right thing and seek help from your qualified health professional. Hello. It's your Ayurveda Gal Friday. Katie here. I have a special podcast for you. We get the question all the time, what is feminine form Ayurveda? What is feminine form Tantra? And it's, as you'll hear in the talk, it's challenging to talk about it, but we're going to do our best. And this is just a little love note to say, if you're listening to this and you have not yet signed up for our level 1 and you think that it's too late, it's not too late. We accept you in a couple months through the training, and you're welcome to join us, and you can get caught up on your own. As of the recording, we've only had one 3-hour class, so we would love to still welcome you into the program. Level 1 begins, and if you're interested in knowing more about our approach, this is the podcast for you. This is the episode for you. And if you are not interested in the program, that's totally fine. You might just be interested in Tantra. And this is also the podcast for you. So I hope you enjoy it. I really loved giving this talk. I loved being with the women that showed up live on our Zoom call. And I love sharing it with you now. I hope to see you soon. Hello, everyone. So good to be with you all. I'm seeing your comments. So many people here from different places. I see one of you from Holland. Thank you for coming. It's late for you. Maine, Florida. I'm here in Virginia. Hi, we just want to welcome you. I'm curious who in the chat is like the first time you've ever been to the Shakti School, a Zoom with us. Just curious who is totally brand new. Okay, I won't read all your names, but there's a lot of you that are here for the first time, and I'm assuming that you guys met us on Instagram or Facebook, and this is why we do these Zooms. They're totally for free. They're just so you can see that we are real people. We aren't AI. We are regular women just like you, and we are a real, beautiful, thriving community. I think of us as kind of like a secret club, but it's an open secret. Just have to kind of vibrate it in. And so my name is Katie Silcox. I am the person that founded the Shakti School many years ago. We used to be a non-online Tantra teacher training for yoga teachers. And I wrote a book called Healthy, Happy, Sexy, Ayurveda Wisdom for Modern Women. Unexpectedly, and through a lot of the things that I'm going to teach you all this Wednesday in level 1, through just the grace of these practices, that little book made the New York Times bestsellers list, which was like insane. It was absolutely impossible. And when that happened, everyone started to write me and say, you should do an Ayurveda teacher training. And I was like, no, I don't really want to do that right now, and students kept writing, you should do an Ayurveda teacher training. You should do an Ayurveda teacher training. And one day I was like, you know what? I really should listen. And so we did it. And this will be our 9th year of running the Shakti School online as an Ayurveda teacher training. It's incredible. We're almost a decade old, which is something I'm super proud of. And everything that we do in our Ayurveda school is informed by this root system that we call Tantra. When students leave our program, one of the things that they tell us, and one of the reasons that a lot of students join, is that they say that they really appreciate our feminine approach to Ayurveda, to holistic health, to preventative medicine, to self-care, to spirituality. It's that feminine element. And, one day I was like, gosh, we really should define what feminine form Ayurveda is. And that is something that I have been very challenged to define, because one of the things about the feminine, which is inside you as a woman, but also it's inside all things, including men, but women have a lot of this energy. One of the things that's super challenging about defining the feminine, and you know this because you're inside yourself, is that you are complicated and you are complex and you don't like to be defined. Right? How many of you really love it when someone says, you're just like this? And you're like, yeah, maybe, but I'm also a lot like that. And so we can start off this whole event, Tantra. What is it? What is it not? How does it relate to self-care? How does it relate to our Ayurveda approach? But let's just start by saying, we're going to do our best to talk about that which really can't be talked about. It can only be felt. It can only be experienced. But what I can tell you is that as you are with me today over the hour, just start to notice what's happening in your body, what's happening in your heart, what's happening in your sensations, what's happening in your emotions. Are you feeling resistance? That's okay and super normal. Are you feeling really open to certain things? That's okay and super normal. But just start to notice, well, what starts to happen in me? And there's this thing that happens in the women that come to this school, and my two main staff members are here and they can attest to this for a decade, and I've been teaching for over 20 years. There is this thing that happens in the women that I share with, and that is they have a recognition of something I've said that awakens something in them that they already knew. They knew it. They already knew it. I just went, hey, remember this? And they go, yeah, I remember. And so if there's one thing that the feminine is, it's the wisdom in you that already knows how to heal herself, that already knows the things in your life that are weakening you, and the things in your life that are strengthening you, the things in your world that are good for you, and the things in your world that are not so good for you. You already know. That intuitive, deep wisdom we call the feminine. It's a part of it, right? And so our approach to Ayurveda, which is this ancient method that women have been practicing all over the world, but we use the systematized version from India. Women have been doing this root mother medicine for as long as we've been here, starts from this place of you are the boss. We don't want to be the boss of you. We want to provide a place and a practice and a method where you get to feel the part of you that's the boss. And that part of you is way wiser than anything you would learn in any course. It's also way kinder. So as you're listening today, if you start to tap into this feeling of that warmth and that kindness, that's a good sign that you're starting to enter into that wisdom realm. One more thing I want to say about it. That part of you is often a lot funnier than you think. It takes the pressure off things, right? There's this quality of openness. And so I have a bunch of notes sitting in front of me. I'm going to speak with you. We're going to do a little short practice. But why we started this workshop, what is Tantra, what is feminine form Ayurveda, is that there's a lot of misunderstanding about what Tantra is. And it's not my intention to go down the scholarly route, which we could. It's my intention today to give you a real life, real world definition and understanding, and maybe even practice around what is Tantra, right? And so if we go to the roots of this word and the Sanskrit of this word, we can see the first part of that word is tan. And you don't have to remember all this Sanskrit, but it's super cool. And the second part is tra. So tan means to expand, to get bigger, to open. And tra means a method or a technique. And so when you put those two words together, it means a methodology for expansion, a tool for getting bigger, a means by which you open, right? And it's not big in the sense of like loud or boisterous or anything like that, although it could be. It can be very quiet, and yet there's this quality of something opening. One of my favorite definitions of Tantra is the way in which you move out of your limits, the way in which you move out of your feeling of being stuck, the way in which you move out of your feeling of limitation. And I know for me, I was not born into this life feeling super open and moving beyond my limitations, quite the opposite. Since I was very, very young, I've struggled with chronic health issues. In my teens and 20s, I had debilitating anxiety. I have definitely known hospital rooms and family issues. And I come from a long line of, like probably many of you, right? Addictions and afflictions. So I'm no different than probably many of you in this room. And yet, when I learned about Tantra, something woke up in me. This recognition of, oh my goodness, I have this opportunity in this life to change, to expand, to move out of those limitations. And in Tantra, a lot of our limits, you guys, are mental. Am I right? Right? There's some limitations that we were born with that we're not going to move out of. It's just physics, right? It's just true. But a lot of our limitations are in our head and in the way we perceive our reality and in what many of you may have heard of as limiting beliefs, right? It's so true. It's like we all have this particular way that we run our energy and that we perceive our reality. And what Tantra says is we're going to flip the script. Now, this isn't to say that there aren't some bad situations and bad people in the world. And, if a tiger's coming at you, we don't want you to say, oh, this is just my perception, right? Sometimes we need to run away or quit a job or put up good boundaries or get out of a bad relationship, right? But when we are talking about moving out of limitations, what we're talking about at Shakti School and what we do in our level 1 program is we help you see the limitations that are self-imposed. Oh my gosh. How many times are we like, oh, I'm thinking this certain way, and then the outer world's kind of responding to me in a similar way? Tantra is not only the tools that we use to help ourselves move out of these perceived limits, but it's also a methodology for manifesting the kind of life that our soul really wants to have. And we can't do that as long as we're running the same old scripts in our mind and running the energy through our body in the same old way. Okay, I haven't even gotten to my notes, which are right here. This is just me talking from my heart. So, what is Tantra? It's to move out of your limitations. Raise your hand if you would like to do that in 2026. I would. Me too. Yep. Okay. If there's one phrase that I could use to begin to walk us through the doorway of understanding this beautiful practice called moving out of our limits, and by the way, it's not a religion. You can bring your own spiritual background to this. Tantra says it's totally fine. It's a philosophy and a way of understanding your mind. It's a psychology. It's a way of understanding your energetic anatomy. And so if there's one phrase that I could use to help us kind of enter into the feeling of the way we begin to move out of those limitations, it's this phrase: self-belonging. All of you are here, I think, because you're interested in Tantra, and maybe you're interested in our program that starts on Wednesday. Our level 1 starts Wednesday. We're all excited over here, and you kind of want to get to know us better. But I hope that you're here because you want to feel better and you want to be better. You aren't here because you want to leave this class feeling worse. All of us can agree that we're all here because we want to go from point A, which is where you are right now, to point B, right? Which is hopefully a better place. This is called evolution. So Tantra is this path of paradox. On one hand, we're going to deeply acknowledge the truth that every woman here wants to feel better, do better, be sexier, be more vibrant, be more healthy, have a better job, more money, all these good things, right? Better relationship to your body, all these things, right? That's all good. We in Tantra say desire is the nature of being a human being. It's how God made you, as my mom would say. You get to want things. You get to want your life to be good and cozy and comfy and orgasms and bonbons and puppies and all the beauty. You get to have that. And we want to help you have more of that. And I know ways that will help you. I can be very, very confident in that. But Tantra is the path of paradox. And so what it says is, If you want all these great things, that's wonderful. But one of the core ways of getting more of what you want is that you can't be attached to any of it. What? You have to show up with all your heart and do all this work and do all this soulful exploration and let go of the expectation that anything's going to come. Tantra is the path of paradox. All of you are here because you want to feel better in 2026. And yet Tantra says, OMG, you are perfect, holy, and exactly the way you need to be. There is nothing here that needs to change, and you get to evolve. In other words, your soul does not have digestive issues. Your soul does not have daddy issues and mommy issues and money issues and career. Your soul doesn't need a New Year's resolution. Your soul's already done, already complete, already whole, already enlightened. And yet that's not how we feel when we wake up, is it? Some days it's worse than others. And so Tantra says, you're close to getting to the truth of reality when you can hold this tension between these opposites in your hands. We don't know, we're curious, but also we do know. There is this part of me, you all, that is pure love and pure awareness, and Katie Silcox struggles with her stuff. And those two things get to coexist, and that's Tantra, that you begin to belong so fully to who you are that you can open to more beauty, more grace, more evolution to the person that you are becoming, and you can simultaneously open your heart to the hot mess that you are right now. That's self-belonging. Self-belonging says, no matter what, I've got my own back. No matter what I look like, no matter what I did last night that I'm kind of feeling bad about, no matter what happened in the past, no matter what I feel right now, I can stay with myself. That's self-belonging. I belong to me. You guys know this. I'm not telling you anything new. When you've got your own back, when you belong to you, when you love you, when you think you're beautiful, when you look in the mirror and you say yes, what other people think, it matters a little less, doesn't it? Getting that validation from your husband, it's nice. I want it too. But it's not the centerpiece of my reality. We will teach you how to get the best digestion possible. We will teach you how to learn about your mind-body type, which you really should know. We will teach you how to make all these beautiful meals. Our teachers are the best ones in the world. I stand behind every teacher in my academy. We are going to share so many things with you starting Wednesday about your sexuality, your anatomy, your energy, your sensuality, your relationships. All that's over here. We're going to absolutely offer you more than you could ever imagine in terms of content for self-improvement. And at the same time, we're going to create the feminine form. The feminine form says, no matter what your digestion's like, no matter what your energy's like, no matter what you ate last night, no matter the quality of your relationships, you are loved. You are holy. And that's a really, really cool paradox. I want to share with you 4 ways that we enter into like the holy, holy realm of this feminine. Number 1, we are going to share with you all practices that will help you become more present. That's not easy. It's super easy to say. Y'all all know you should meditate, right? But we do it really differently here in Shakti School. We don't meditate simply by saying, be quiet. How's that working for you? How's it working? It's hard. It's really hard to be quiet. And my teacher used to laugh. He's like, people don't like to meditate. Otherwise, they would be meditating all the time. Like, we really have to try to sit down for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, right? Like, it's like building your bicep. It's like so much easier to lay on the couch and watch Netflix, right? And so at Shakti School, we do feminine form meditation. And it's not sit quietly and watch your thoughts. It's feel deeply into your physicality. Feel your sensations. feel the roots of your legs, feel the quality of the pelvic floor, feel the sensations and emotions and vibrations and colors and sounds and all the weird stuff that happens when you start listening to your body and getting quiet. And we help you meditate by using the feminine that is your fundamental energy. In Shakti School, we meditate on energy. We work with energy. We learn about how energy flows in your body. Just like you have a mind that thinks and a body that breathes and moves, you have an energy body. That is the basis of Ayurvedic medicine. When your energy's flowing, you're healthy. When your energy's blocked, you're not. It's that simple. So we help you get your energy flowing. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to come in and cure every disease the first day of energy class, right? But it does mean that we're going to be able to start at the root cause of imbalances, which is the energy flow. So number one, be present to all your bodies, your physical body, your mental body, and your energy body. Number two, so first principle, presence. Second principle, and this is so important because you can be present and focused, but you can be mean to yourself while you're being focused and present. I have had so many meditations in this lifetime where I'm like, you know what? It would have been better not even to meditate. It would have been better to go outside and dance or go on a hike and maybe yell into the woods, right? If you just sit down and focus and you just try to quieten your mind and focus, but you're being kind of mean to yourself, and that meanness can be overt. Like, trust me, I know what it's like to like yell at yourself in your head, but the meanness can be subtle. And the way this tradition defines that quality of meanness, it's any form, overt or subtle, of self-aggression. And how do we define self-aggression? And we do it to other people, unfortunately, too. Self-aggression is, I want you to be different. What you are right now is not good. And so we start from this place of presence, but we also start from this place of warmth towards ourselves, love, kindness towards ourselves. Raise your hand if you've ever noticed that it is so much easier for you to give the best, kind, loving, big mama wisdom, loving energy to your friends that you don't just naturally flow out towards yourself. And so many of the women that come to Shakti School, it's like me, right? Like, it's so easy for me to love you all and to love our students. And then what's been so cool is like, I can remember how much it's easy for me to love others. And then I turn that towards myself when I meditate. And it's like, whoa, feels really good to be with Katie Silcox when she's loving. So number one, be present. Number two, be kind in the meditation. My teacher says you create an environment that is a healing climate for yourself. Ladies, you can learn everything about Ayurveda, or anything actually. But if you haven't created the healing climate, it's really hard to heal. And all of us are here to heal. We are. My teacher says all of us are in recovery from something. So number two is we create a healing climate through warmth, curiosity. Number three, when we're talking about feminine form Tantra and Ayurveda, we're talking about relaxing. It's so easy to say. Surrender, relax, get open, chill out, dude. Just chill out. Just take the pressure off. So when we meditate, have you guys seen those people that are very, very, very serious about meditation? Don't get into my meditation space, please. This is a very serious thing. I was in a sauna the other day, and there was a woman in there, and she was like meditating. She had like Om, energy. And there were two other ladies. There were like 10 people in the sauna, and there were these two other ladies just like doing something that women have been doing for thousands of years, which is they were chatting. And they're super sweet, and they're chatting about their kids going back to school. Just like the most normal thing in the world. And this other woman, much to everyone's surprise in the sauna, she said, "Excuse me, can you please be quiet? I'm trying to meditate." And she said it so mean, you guys. And I just sat there like, whoa. And it's like someone had thrown a hatchet of energy into the sauna, right? And the two young women were like, "Ooh," and everybody got really quiet because like mean mommy had shown up. By the way, if she's in the room, we've all been you, right? Because we do this to ourselves. Then she goes back to meditating. Om, so very holy. This is the opposite of feminine energy, right? It's like harsh. Sees meditation as a means to an end. I'm here to meditate to get peaceful. That's my goal. You're getting in the way of it, right? So what I'm inviting us into with the feminine is just it's openness. It's this fundamental quality of being relaxed and open to whatever arises in the field of your experience, inner and outer. And I have to actually be honest about that story. When she did that, I got so annoyed. And then I realized, wow, she's reminding me of a part of me that can be really harsh. Number 4, I already said it, but it's you become aware in all of that openness and all of that warmth and all of that presence. You become aware, OMG, silence and emptiness aren't empty. And they're not quiet. There's a pulse in the silence. There's an aliveness and an energy in the openness. And in the emptiness, there's life and there's love. And so when we meditate, we open and we relax and we're kind and we're present to be able to watch that which is continually arising always in the field of our experience. In other words, you can meditate all day, but life is going to keep showing up. Life is going to keep changing. Your body is going to keep changing. The way you look is going to keep changing. Your relationships are going to keep changing. Everything that you want, that you hold so precious and dear, and trust me, so do I, will eventually not be here. And everything we are running from may eventually show up. And so to be able to abide and open and relax to watching the way everything is always changing, actually paradoxically and ironically invites us into a still place that is always here, that never changes. The teachings of feminine form Ayurveda and Tantra say there's 2 paths to God, you guys. There's 2 paths to your heart. One is the path of peace, and the second is the path of love. And if you follow love fully, you will find peace. And if you follow peace fully, you'll find love. We are a school that really invites you into both of these masculine and feminine energies. There is no masculine without the feminine. There is no feminine without the masculine. You hold these energies in you. But many of us come from cultures and histories and backgrounds where we raise your hand if you were valued for what you know. That was me, right? You were smart, or you wanted to be smart and you got an A+ or a B on an exam, right? Good job. Maybe you were like, no, good job. I need an A+, right? Raise your hand if you were valued for what you look like. I know I was. I'm Southern Belle. My mama was a beauty queen, and so was my grandma. You're valued for what your body's like. Some of you were athletes, right? You went to gym class. How many of you did the sit and reach? That's going to tell your age. Did you do the presidential gym fitness, right? That was just like traumatizing for all of us, the little gym shorts. So we understand a culture that values us for what we look like in our athletics and our body, our physical body, especially as women. We understand a culture that values us for our brain and for what we can produce and achieve. Culture that didn't value perhaps your emotional intelligence. Can you imagine? Hey, you got an A on your math exam, but you got an F on your emotional intelligence. Let's work on that this month. Right? Or were you valued for your intuition Were you valued for your deep sensitivity? Some of you are from families where you were the most sensitive one there. And you could feel everyone else's emotions in the room, and you're still kind of like that, you know? And that's wonderful, right? To be sensitive, but it's also can be hard on your nervous system. So there are all these ways of being valued, but our cultures often forgot about the feminine. This quality of open-heartedness, this quality of warmth, this quality of relaxation, this parasympathetic rest and digest and heal and socialize maybe on the backside of that. That parasympathetic nervous system was not prioritized in many of the cultures that many of us come from. It's global. And so what this tradition says is, hey, lady, you are allowed to achieve and do and accomplish and take out your bow and arrow, Athena, and shoot it into the world and go, girl, go, hashtag girl boss. There's no bigger girl boss in Shakti School than this girl, right? This is your masculine. And we love it. Some of you would join Shakti School because you need more of that. You actually need to get off the couch, go on a jog, yell in the woods, do something. But so many of you, and definitely me, have had to really learn to revalue the secret truth of your heart, which is, I don't have to do anything to start this healing journey. This is the essence of Tantra. If there's one way of thinking about the way that we practice Tantra, it is that we open to whatever energies that are here in me, in you, right? We open to our fear, we open to our anger, we open to all of our emotions without demonizing them. I know that's not easy. It's very hard. It's in fact the bravest thing you can do is to just open to your feelings without repressing them, without getting locked into them and identifying yourself as them, and without blowing them like a dragon on everybody else. Some of you blow like a dragon, and some of you never speak anything about your feelings, and both of those are ways of avoiding your energy. My teacher used to say to me all the time, your fear isn't really fear. It's your fear of fear. And so in Shakti School, we're going to help you slowly, systematically, and wisely open to the thing that you're running from, which is your own energy. The thing that I am the most afraid of, and then I can see it in my students, and now that's shifted a lot for me, a lot over the past decade, especially. I'm not afraid anymore of my own fear. I don't like it. It's not fun to feel terrified, but I'm not scared of it anymore. Bring it on. Now, don't worry. Day one of Shakti School will not start that way. In fact, it's super important to go slow. You don't want to open Pandora's box all at once, do you? Because you know, oh my God, Katie Silcox, if I start feeling my feelings, I'm worried it'll never stop. And we understand that deeply. And therefore, the Shakti School is not therapy, but it's therapeutic. This is a very loving place. I don't want to say it's safe. I'd like to think it is, but I will say that it's brave and it's loving, because life itself isn't always safe. Our goal is to create an environment in you where you feel brave enough to confront all the feelings inside of you. So we learn how to watch that which arises inside of our body, inside of our mind, and in the world without as much condemnation, especially of what's going on inside ourselves. There's a beautiful word that describes one of the underlying philosophies of this system. And the Sanskrit word is Sri, S-R-I. I spent a lot of my life living in India, studying with great sages and saints and teachers all over the Indian subcontinent and in the United States. And that word just kept coming up for me, and it's one of my favorite Sanskrit words, and Shri means, sometimes in English it's translated as beauty. And the teachings say the underlying nature of reality is Shri. Can you imagine if you were taught that your whole life? The underlying nature of reality is something beautiful. But Shri doesn't just mean beauty, like we might think of beautiful. It means resplendent. It means self-illuminating. And not only is Shri, this self-illuminating beauty, the underlying nature of reality, but it's also the underlying nature of you. Get that for a second. Just pause and like take that in. The underlying nature of who I am is beautiful and lit from within. That's what self-effulgency is. That's what luminescence is. What's amazing to me every time I talk about this stuff is like, I don't always feel that way. But now I have a philosophy and an understanding that I can lean into and I don't. In fact, the teachings say that the wound is the way to the light. And so those days where I'm like, oh, that stuff about myself, my teacher calls it the thing about yourself that you find the most intolerable, ugh, is the gateway, the key that opens the cage to all that light. So we really lean into that wound is the way philosophy in Ayurveda school. Just a few more things and then we'll do a short practice, you all. One of the central features of feminine form is that you should walk around with a lot of dignity because your life has purpose. You are here for a reason. Your life is not meaningless, and your soul should be deeply respected. And so we put a lot of emphasis in this quality of dignity, not as something that we enforce or overlay upon ourselves, but the dignity that arises naturally out of the experience of what we talked about in the beginning of this call. And that is, I have learned, and it's not easy, but I've learned how to stay with myself no matter what. And when you do that, you have dignity. And it's 2 steps forward, 1 back, and then you'll do something that looks cuckoo and you don't have as much dignity in that moment, but then you're gonna just keep coming back, and that's what it is. 2 steps forward, 1 back. Lastly, the nervous system is profoundly, profoundly healed, not by doing a ton of breath work, not by getting great sleep or great digestion. All those things help, right? But the nervous system is healed by working directly with the energy that infuses it. We will teach you the world's most sublime energy practices. I've been a student of energy for 20 plus years. My entire life is dedicated to the study of energy. When you work with your energy, you heal your nervous system. And the nervous system is the root mother of everything, especially perimenopause, menopause, and that older crone stage of life. That nervous system work is the root mother medicine for all of us. So we at Shakti School prioritize the parasympathetic nervous system. You will be in an environment that's very provocative as well, right? We're not here to just, rub oil on our bodies and tell each other how beautiful we are and eat bonbons, although we can definitely and will do that. We're also here to wake up, and waking up is not always comfortable, but waking up must be coded in this environment of rest, openness, warmth. So we say we prioritize the parasympathetic nervous system in Shakti School, and every class, especially the ones with me, are really guided by energy medicine, nervous system, chill out medicine. So if you're like, oh God, I feel burned out, we're the place for you. And then just lastly, this last principle of feminine form, this is so easy to say and quite challenging to live, and that is all of your life is sacred. All of it. One of the meanings of the word tantra that I didn't tell you is to weave, like to weave on a loom. We weave. Why would that be one of the definitions of tantra? Well, we're learning through this practice how to weave the fabric of your spiritual practices, of your meditation, of your prayer, of your therapy, of anything that you consider your spiritual work. We're learning how to weave that into the fabric of our everyday life. That means I'm no longer, hopefully, going to just be like that lady in the sauna where I'm peaceful in my meditation, but then I can yell at you right in the sauna. We're learning that the way that you treat the guy at the grocery counter it is your meditation. The way you treat your pet or your child or your friend, right? The way you treat your husband or your wife, like these relationships that we have on the horizontal realm of life, messy, weird, up and down daily life, it's actually within those relationships that we get enlightened, that we wake up our hearts. And if we only sit and meditate and think, okay, I'm meditating, this is my spiritual practice, and now I'm going to get to my regular life, we've missed the point of Tantra, which is every single aspect of your life is holy, it's sacred. So when we make food, we make it as an offering. When we make love, we make it as an offering. When we do our job, even if you don't love it, right? It's an act of service and an offering. Every aspect of our lives becomes holy ground, especially the parts of our lives that we don't like. That doesn't mean you can't change it. Sure, come to Shakti School. I will teach you how to manifest stuff. And then I'll teach you how to deal with what happens when you get it. And you realize, oh, that didn't make my soul completely enlightened and happy. Right? We get to do both. So we've got a few more minutes. Let's just do a short practice. I'm going to teach you guys the basic energy practice that we do in every class with me at Shakti School. I'm your lead teacher for the first 2 months of Ayurveda School Level 1. And then we have so many other amazing teachers, topics, content, rich and dense. If you're ready to set up a call with someone, we're happy to get you on Zoom with like a real person that's actually done the course and is a lady that started off just like you that might have actually found us on Instagram. And I'll talk a little bit more at the end about the course, but I want to just give you guys this practice. You can have it. I use this every day. It's the main form of meditation that I do. And the practice is called getting grounded, just actually grounding your energy. And it's a little different than what you might be used to in terms of grounding. We're going to work with grounding our energy down into our body, but also bringing earth energy up. So you're all the way down and all the way up, and therefore you're grounded, just like an electrical socket. So we'll go ahead, and if it feels all right, you can just close your eyes. If that feels too much, you can keep them relaxed but slightly open. And just see if you can, for a moment, let your chin drop a little bit, like almost like a prayer with your head and into your body, letting your brain rest a little into the heart and the belly. And just notice everyone here, whether you've been doing this your whole life or you're new and you've never meditated ever, and that's totally cool. We can all just feel like beginners, because we are. Feel all of us have this inhalation. And let the inhale open and widen your belly and your rib cage. Without too much force or effort, begin to just feel the inhale bringing you into this present moment. And then everyone here, whether you've been doing this your whole life or you're totally new to any of this, all of us here are beginners because we have this exhale. And feel and experience the exhale in the present moment, drawing your navel back towards your spine, and the energy draws in. Inhale, feel your attention drop in and down your legs. And even you can kind of feel beyond your legs into the ground and into the sides of the room. And as you breathe out, you can kind of feel your belly will draw in on your spine and your pelvic floor will lift. And that's just your physiology. But what's happening with the energy is your energy is coming in. It's like being gathered. And that's what it means to be grounded. The inhale brings us in and down. And we open to our legs, our feet, the earth. And as we exhale the energy from the earth, this is always happening, by the way, for everybody. It's going to come up. And it's okay if you don't really feel that. Initially, it might feel hard to feel. So just focus on inhale, sensing and focusing on opening in and down your body, into your feet, into your legs, into your pelvis. And as you breathe out, you can just have this sense that you're kind of gathering the breath back in, gathering the energy, gathering yourself. And we're going to just do 6 more of those breaths. As you're doing it, it's normal. You'll have thoughts, you'll get distracted. And rather than being harsh with yourself, bring in the sense of warmth. And just know that if you notice you've wandered into the realm of thinking, that itself is a waking up. And then lastly, just noticing this part of your mind that is actually quiet. And then this part of your being that's always alive, moving and changing. And letting those two opposites coexist. And from this deep place of being a little more tuned to yourself, to belonging to yourself. Just take this moment to set an intention. And I don't know what that should be for you, but you do. And a question that can help you get into your sacred intention is something like, if this life were finite, which it is, what is the most important thing right now? And when you're ready and that process feels complete, you can just gently open your eyes. So I hope that you've enjoyed this feminine form Tantra start. It is like licking the surface of a vast, vast endeavor. It's no secret to you if you've been on our mailing list for a while or you're in our community. We have a program that starts January 14th. That's this Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. The program runs for a whole year because we need at least a year to ground you all in the principles of Ayurveda, which is the holistic preventative healthcare side of the spiritual path that you may have heard of called yoga. Now, yoga is not just stretching and downward dog and vinyasa flows and all of that. Yoga means union, right? It's not a religion, it's a path to uniting with your soul. So we have a level 1 program that is soul school, basically. And we have women that come and are already signed up from all over the world for soul school. It starts January 14th. And it's also a certification program for women who want to be an Ayurveda health coach so that they can take everything that they're learning in that level 1 and help the world. And so we get women that join our program that are like, yes, 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 that is what I know I want to do. And we get women that are like, no, 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 I don't want to do that. I just want to be in soul school. And we have women that don't know and they come for kind of question mark. Let's see what happens. So that's starting this Wednesday and it runs throughout the year. And like I said, we have over 20 different faculty members. I'm the lead teacher. And that program is a contained program. You can do just that level 1, and we send you off with all the blessings with a certification to be an Ayurveda health coach. Now, Ayurveda is an unregulated folk medicine tradition, meaning when you are finished with this training, you will be ready to go out into the world and teach people how to help their mind-body type, how to recognize it, your own mind-body type. You will be able to understand the basics of Ayurvedic nutrition, digestion, eating for improvement of digestion, herbology, methodologies for helping people with their hormones and their fertility. You will be equipped with all of that. Then, for many students who feel compelled, we are actually a 2-year academy. So after level 1, it can turn into another level, and that's called an Ayurvedic health counselor. And what that does is it just builds on level 1, it gives you more time, and we go into deeper topics and deeper clinical support. Not only are we doing that every Wednesday, we do have a couple of breaks throughout the year, but it is every Wednesday, but you can do it anytime. You can watch these lectures anytime you want, and you're able to watch it forever. As long as we are a business, we're going to keep it up there for you. You can also watch it throughout the year and get caught up if you cannot attend the classes live. We also have twice monthly support sessions with a woman who is the heart and soul of this academy. Her name is Laurel. She is a clinical Ayurvedic specialist, which is one of the highest levels of Ayurvedic practitioner that you can be. And she comes in twice a month to support you all with your questions that you have about what you learned from Katie Silcox the week before, right? And so we have that for you all as well. And we have a community group where you get to meet all the other great women who are a part of the program. And that community aspect is really one of the most fun parts of the training. We've had women go on to become best friends. They meet each other because they're in the same city, or they travel and meet each other. We've had women go into business together. We have women support each other's business. It's an amazing community of people. And I always say we are 2 things at Shakti School, and that is smart plus heart, right? And so we really emphasize one of the core teachings of Tantra, by the way, is that one of the worst karmas that you can have is to harm your sister. And who is a sister? Any other woman on the planet. This is a different energetic space. It's one where we uplift each other. So that's happening. And lastly, you get tons of discounts as a member of the Shakti School. We're kind of a famous lady life club in the Ayurveda world. And we get you guys some awesome discounts on my favorite companies for products and herbs. And women go on to then use those companies to offer affiliates to their own clients later. That means you get to keep that money. So that's a whole thing. And we will go into that in the business section of Ayurveda School, where we really teach you, if you want to do it, how to become a coach in the world. Like I said, if you want a coaching call with one of our graduates who's done the program, we can hook you up. we would love for you to sign up. And guys, guess what? This is the final hour, right? It starts on Wednesday. We would love to meet you. And you know what? If it's not the time for you, I've loved having you here now. I've loved meeting you here now. I'm just so, so honored to be part of your life, even if it's only for this hour, and to share with you the thing that I love the most. And what I love the most is this practice and this philosophy. There's nothing more important than what we've talked about today. And that is this evolution of our heart. And so I hope that maybe today something inspired something in you to awaken that. Thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day. A big special thanks to Kevin Carlisle of Goodbye Gemini, who wrote this beautiful podcast music, and to DJ Juan Pablo Jimenez in southern Spain for mixing it and making it magic.